Hi there everybody, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Healthy here from SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. Today I'm going to be playing with the Soft Pastels Assortment from the Stampin' Up annual catalogue. I've had a few requests to do a video on this recently because I've had a few people question me when I say that these are my favourite colouring tools at the moment. You can find them on page 126 of the annual catalogue and they're priced at £8.25, but I do have a way that you can get these for free from me, so do stay tuned. You can either go over to my Instagram page at SlimmandStylish, you can find the interactive post on the giveaway and you can follow the instructions on there, and I will then be drawing a winner at random to get these for free. In addition, if you shop from me, SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net, throughout the month of November, I will then send you a box of these free as a thank you for any order over £80. I'll wrap them up in Christmas paper and they will be a little gift for you that will come out in December. So there's 8 different colours in the Soft Pastels kit. You have Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Gorgeous Grape, Granny Apple Green, Mango Melody, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy and Poppy Parade. I'm going to show you now how to make these 5 different cards, all using 5 completely different techniques. I have sped up the video as we go so that it doesn't take forever, and I've missed out the steps of how I've created the card, and I'm just showing you the techniques with the finished card. So the first one up is, I'm trying to remember which my first one up was. My first one up is just simply using the pastels as they come. So with this, I'm using the Beautiful Moments set and I'm stamping it up with Stays on ink. I'm just going over that a few times and I'm twisting it to make sure that you get a clean impression using your Stays on. Once you've stamped your image down, if you want to pick up your pastels, I have been using my Take a Pick tool and I've been using the palette knife end as I find it easier to get the pastels out. As you can see, I'm simply using these as they come. I'm just using the pastel to colour in the different areas. You can build the colour up. So for instance, her dress right now, I'm doing quite pale, but you'll notice I come back in a bit, I go over it again with the pastel and I make it slightly darker. This is just like a colouring in. You can go over the lines, you can go over the whole thing, and you can just keep blending it in with your fingers. It's a bit scratchy if you don't blend it in, so do make sure you do that. And here is where I'm adding the extra colour into her dress. It's really simple playing with the pastels this way, and you can get some really good effects. This is my finished card. I added some of the seagulls on, popped a sentiment on, and I backed it off onto So Saffron cardstock to make the notelet. Ever so simple. It's using the Beautiful Moments cling stamp set, which is available from my store. For the next one, I'm going to be using some watercolor techniques. So I've got my shimmery white cardstock, the Sweet Strawberry photopolymer stamp set, my Stays on ink, and my aqua parkers. I'm just going to stamp the strawberry here to show you how simple and easy this is. I'm using my palette knife to just get a little bit of shaving off my chalk. And then I'm going to mix in some water to create a paste, and I'm going to colour in my strawberry. This is so simple, but what's great is it doesn't dry like normal watercolour. It dries like a chalk. It's brilliant, really great effect. And you can keep adding layers over the top to create different colours. As you'll notice, I'm going straight to the pastel there so that I can get some deep marks for my strawberry. Once you've finished, if you just squish your aqua marker out over your chamois, you'll then be able to switch in between different colours. So I'm now going to grab another piece of shimmery white and I'm going to show you how to do this with the floral piece. So first of all, I'm going to grab the Granny Apple Green, create a little shaving of that, and the Mango Melody, and create a little shaving of that, and I'm going to use both of these to colour in this section. You can start off light and then keep going over the top to build an even darker colour. This is probably one of my favourite techniques with the pastels, partly because it's so quick and easy and it creates really vibrant colours, but also because it dries chalky and it looks really nice and the texture of it feels great. So my finished card, I've just continued on the panel and stamped a load more extra pieces and coloured them in the same way. Fussy cut out the strawberry, added some twine and some embellishments, popped a sentiment on the front and popped it then onto a note card. That's that chalky feel. It really does feel lovely. Card number 2. Card number 3 is using the Colour and Contour stamp set. Love this stamp set, but you are going to need to have some earbuds or some Q-tips or whatever it is that you call them. You want to use your Stays On ink again here. So ink up your stamp. And then using the Q-tips, there's 2 different ways to do this. You can rub your Q-tip directly onto the pastel, which gives a very pale colour. Or you can shave off some of your pastels like I did previously, add the Q-tip into the shavings and go across. I have deliberately chosen this stamp set because it's a messy image. I don't mean that nasty, I just mean it's not fine lines that you have to colour in. That is perfect for the Q-tips, is having sort of a messy image that you can just apply the colour to. It doesn't have to matter about being in the lines, it's just trying to get the colour onto the paper. I've used the Daffodil Delight here to do the flowers, and as you can see, it just really pops. Using the Night Navy, which actually I think is a bit more like Pacific Point, I've actually just created a light blue background. I do like using the Q-tip technique. You do have to have a few for the different colours, but you can always keep them in your box afterwards and use them again and again. And it is a really quick and effective way to get this colour onto the paper. I'm only using the blue around that little rectangle, and then I've popped it onto Pacific Point cardstock, used Pacific Point ink to pop my sentiment as a flag on the top, and I've used the champagne rhinestones around the side. No, I haven't. I've used the gold gilded gems. Trying to remember what I did half hour ago. But that is my finished note card. Next up, I'm going to be doing some embossing. This is the Black Magic embossing technique, and it works brilliantly with the pastels. Not only that, the pastels also colour the card, so it just looks really effective. I've just used my embossing buddy, and I'm going to be using my Versamark to pop on this lovely dahlia from this set. Keep going, cover the whole background of your cardstock, as many as you can. You should just be able to see an imprint of where I've put the Versamark. I'm now going to be popping on some white embossing powder and shaking it off. I didn't really get the best size card to shake it off onto, so I'm having to play around a little bit here. But you get the idea. Basically, get it really, really looking lovely with your white embossing powder, covering as much of the background as possible. Bringing in your heat gun, just get that heat set. Hopefully you can see here how much it starts to pop once it's been heated up. Keep going over and over until all of the powder is set. You don't want to have any powder loose at all with this technique. Then you want to take your colours, colour over the top with a pastel, keep going and keep rubbing it in. This will get the pop of colour onto the white embossing piece, but as you can see, it spreads onto the cardstock as well, so it actually gives a glowing effect. I've used 3 colours for this: Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, and the Highland Heather, or the Gorgeous Grape. I think it's Gorgeous Grape actually. Just keep building the colours up. Now the Gorgeous Grape didn't work fantastically well for me to start off with, purely because I'd gone over the loose embossing powder and so it stuck to my pastel. As you can see, I've gone over it again using a different side and it's cleared up much better. Just looks like a little firework card. I've popped this onto my note card, popped myself a big sentiment from the stamp set, and then I've used the dots, the resin dots from the annual catalogue. They're the playful resin dots. They come in the exact colours of the pastels, so sets it off lovely. Finally, I'm doing another embossing project. This one is actually my favourite card of the 5. I fell in love with it. It's using the Blossoms in Bloom, and I'm using the Stamper Artist for this because it's a slightly bigger stamp than I have been using, and I definitely want to make sure with this technique that I get fantastic coverage when I start embossing. So I'm going to use my Versamark, my embossing buddy, and I'm actually going to restamp this a couple of times just to definitely make sure that it's stamped crystal clear. You definitely want to get all of the stamp on this one. Once you've done it, you want to use clear embossing powder. You can see I've learned from my paper this time and used a bigger sheet. So use your clear embossing powder to get that onto the background. Clear it up, and then you want to heat set that clear embossing powder. It's a bit harder with the clear powder. It's less easy to see what you're doing. So just keep going over and over until you're 100% sure that it is all set. It should get a nice shimmer effect if you're doing it right, and then you'll be able to make sure that you've got all of the dust off. So for this one, I'm going to be using my blending brushes. I'm bringing in 2 that have already got the preset colours on. Now you can, as before, just go straight to the pastel and get a light colour and work it up. But the quicker way for me is to use the palette knife, scrape off a bit of the dust, and then do the emboss resist technique over the top of those flowers. Your flowers will start coming to life right in front of you. Keep building it up. You can put as little or as much on here to just get the intensity going. I've gone over the whole of the flowers with the Coastal Cabana colour, and I've just kept building it up until I'm happy with it. I'm then going to actually mix and match, which is perfect for this. Just grab another blending brush and go again, and I'm using Daffodil Delight for the centre of the flowers. I'm only pushing down in the centre and I'm not pushing down at the sides, so you only get that colour in. Here's the finished cardstock. I've cut out the embossing piece and I've popped it onto some background basic white, which I've stamped. I've stamped that with Smoky Slate, Pool Party and So Saffron. I've used the in colour dots and I've tied a ribbon around it, popping a sentiment on there to create my card. So that's all 5 of the cards using the 5 techniques I'm showing you today. Let me know in the comments below which one was your favourite and which ones you'll be doing. I do love the watercolour one, but my favourite of all is the Emboss Resist final one using the Blossoms in Bloom. Everything I've used today is available from SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. And finally, don't forget you can win these soft pastels assortment. I've got quite a few of them to give away, so any order placed throughout November of £80 or more in total will be receiving one wrapped in gorgeous Christmas paper with a ribbon to put under your tree. Alternatively, do go to my Instagram at SlimmandStylish and you will find the engagement post, which is put up on the 1st of November. Follow the instructions on it and you'll be in with a chance to join my draw and win some of the soft pastel assortments so you can make these cards yourself. If you're watching this video after November, they are available to purchase. That's the item code £8.25 and you can find them in the annual catalogue. Thanks for joining me today. I hope it's been useful. Have a lovely day and I will see you all soon. I hope you've enjoyed today's project. All items that I have used on this video are available to purchase from my store www.SlimmandStylish.stampinup.net. Alternatively, if you would like a copy of our catalogues, please send me an email to slimandstylish@live.co.uk or leave me a comment below and I'll get in touch with you. I upload regular content to this channel, so if you do enjoy watching my tutorials, please make sure that you have subscribed and rang the bell to get notifications when new videos go live. Thank you for joining me and have a lovely day.